Hello, we are live. All right, so I'm gonna wait a couple seconds and then I'm gonna get started because I know it's I know it's the week of Christmas. I have a calendar. I know what week it is, but I have something that I want to share that I think is extremely timely, given where we are in the year, and probably for a lot of us where we are in our job searches. So I want to get into the topic of why your next move even matters. Um, at this point, you could probably be saying, well, I wanted a new job by the end of this year. And if you're like me, sometimes when I'm ready to leave a job, I'll say, okay, I want to be gone before I have to get holiday cards. And that probably sounds bad, but that has been the deadline that I've given myself. And in times where it didn't happen that way, I've found myself disappointed. And so I don't want that for you, because that deadline, that timeline we give ourselves, it's not real. It has nothing to do with what our journey is supposed to be like. So I want to get into why it even matters what you do next, and why you don't need to rush it. If you don't know who I am, I'm Angela M. Zachary, the owner of the Inside Track Career Services. I help professionals simplify their job searches using some insider HR strategies that I've learned over a long career, in HR. And just when I'm thinking about journeys, like I was trying to think of what I was going to talk about today. And, those hard hitting strategies, they're there, but I kept ignoring them and saying, no, I don't really want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is the you who on December 23rd is worried about what's next, right? Um, if you already have a role, you probably, like most of us, put that deadline on yourself that I was just talking about. That 2025 is going to be my year, and I'm going to have my job starting in December, starting in January, and everything is going to be great. And it's not looking like that's going to happen, right? But take heart, because your journey and what's next is so important. It's not the kind of thing that I believe that you need to rush. And it's not even, and when I say you don't need to rush, I mean, you don't have to try to get the perfect role. I was talking to somebody last Sunday, and she was saying, I have this opportunity that I'm thinking of applying for, but it's not my ultimate goal. It's not what I truly want to do next. It's um, something similar, but it's not what I want to do. And I don't want to settle. And I told her, okay, would you be settling or would you just be setting yourself up for the next thing if you took this role? And so she thought about it and she said, well, I mean, it is along the lines of what I want to do and it will help me. It's like to be a stepping stone to where I want to be. And so I said, so it's not settling, it's strategy. You're being strategic about what you do next. And instead of wasting time trying to find the perfect role that might not even exist just yet, you're getting yourself in a position to be able to create that, to position yourself for that kind of role. And so she thought it through and said, oh, yeah, I don't have to make leaps and bounds and try to get the perfect role right now. I can get the role that sets me up for that future role. And that's so important. I think back even about myself. I started in HR when I was 18 years old, which sounds insane because why are they letting little kids into HR? But I was 18 years old. I graduated from high school, and the mayor of my city had a program where she would place high school graduates in jobs around the city. And I was an extremely shy girl. Like, I don't even like to call myself shy, but I genuinely was shy. And I got anxious around people all the time. And I didn't want to go because that would have involved me having to talk to, talk to the mayor, and I didn't want to do it. But I knew if I didn't do it, I'd probably get in trouble because, you graduate, you find a job. Um, and I wanted money because I was about to go to college and, you need money. So I got up. the very last Saturday of the program, I got up, put on my nicest outfit, and I went to the city building where they were doing the interviews. Now, I was last because I told you I went begrudgingly, so I was last. And I sat there for hours just reading my book. I didn't have cell phone, just reading a book. And when I finally got to the mayor, I was last, and she was going to take me for the entire program. And she, oh, we're going to get this done. So I'm talking with her, trying my best to appear at least a little normal. Um, and I finish talking to her, I leave, I go home, and then I get my assignment a little while after, and it is in the human resources department of a major hotel in Atlanta. And I'm thinking, okay, first of all, what is human resources? Because I'm 18, I have no reason to know what that is. And so I look it up and I see human resources is about humans, literally, it's about people. And I'm thinking, why would this lady put me in the most opposite job from what I appear to be right now, right? Um, because humans just were not my strong suit back then. And I was nervous, but it was the last job they had, so it's not like I could get another placement. And I went to the job, and it turned out to change my life. I loved it. I loved meeting people. I loved understanding people's jobs. I loved being the center of the company. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, HR is not important," but HR is the hub of the company. Everything moves in and out through HR, and I learned that there. Um, I went around other departments and learned their departments, and so I began to understand and appreciate just different jobs. And when I finished that internship and I went to college for journalism, by the end of the school year, my freshman year of college, I had changed my major to HR. And so I say all that to say, just because you're now, the thing that you have the opportunity to do now is not the prettiest picture or the thing you envisioned for your future. It took me years to get to where I am now in HR, just because I took that step, right? Just because I was willing to do something that did not feel comfortable to me, do something that frankly scared me. Um, because getting a job, looking for a new job is scary. Trying to put yourself out there is scary. I know it because obviously I've done it. But it's when you get out there that you see you have what you need, you have what it takes. You just have to go out there and present it. You just have to go out there and see what the market will bear for someone who has the skills you have. Um, and it's so important. I tell my clients all the time, like, the goal isn't to find the perfect job, because if we're being honest, the perfect job does not exist. If you are trying to learn and grow, the perfect job doesn't exist, because you're always going to want to see what's next, see what else you can do, um, see how else your knowledge and skills can take form. And so perfect doesn't exist in the world of jobs. You should always, and I want you to always be striving for more knowledge, more flexing of your skills and your muscles in that area, because that's how you grow. That's how you get to be better. That's how I went from that awkward little 18-year-old to an 18 and a half year old who knew everybody in the house in the hotel. So um, since this is the holidays and we're spending so much time with our families, and you very well might get that question, how's your job search going, or are you still at this job, and whatever the case may be. But don't view that as a negative thing, because there's always another step. Hey, Sydney. There's always something else you could do to get closer to that goal. And there is beauty in that journey. I've learned so much over my career, and I'm yeah, yeah. it's been what, 16 years HR, in my count, yeah, I think so. I went out a little bit, but don't trust. I remember I graduated from college and I was trying to apply for HR director jobs. Like, just think about how that makes no sense, right? So that journey, exactly, there's beauty in the journey. That journey is important. And so when you go into 2025 and you're looking at, okay, the deadline I gave myself to be in this perfect job that I thought I wanted, it's passed. Now what? Now is the time for you to see what the market holds for you. Go out there and figure out with a solid strategy, with a job search strategy that makes sense both for you and where you are in your career. Go out into the market and see what it bears for you. I've said it before. Folks who don't want to go out in the market are afraid that it won't accept them. That's really all it is. You're afraid that it will not receive you. But there's space for just about everybody in the market. There are some off the wall jobs out there, but somebody has them, and that's because they went out and did it and went out and got that opportunity. So just want to give you some encouragement at the end of the year. If you need more encouragement, more personal encouragement, I am hosting an info session this Saturday. Yep, this Saturday. I'm still talking about jobs because it's really what I do. Hosting an info session this Saturday, and I'll put the registration link in the comments. And I'll just be talking about what are the strategies for you to be able to up level your career and your salary without having to start over from scratch, without having to be that new kid in the office, just because you didn't think that the market could support your goals in your career. So that'll be on Saturday. And I look forward to seeing you all there. If you've got questions, that's going to be the perfect place to go to ask those questions. Don't DM me a bunch of questions because you could have been here and you could have been in the session. So I'll see you all there. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever other holiday, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever. If you celebrate Festivus, Happy Festivus. But I wish you much success in your career and your job search, and just in your journey. I want to hear about how these changes are going to happen for you in the next year, and it starts with a solid strategy. So I'll see you all again on Saturday, and then again the following week on Monday, again for Career Catalyst Live. All right, bye bye.